Hello and welcome to Pathways of Sensory Awareness. My name is Stefan Lang-Gilliard and I'm recording this video as an introduction to a guided exercise in focused awareness of bodily sensations. But what I'm about to say is really relevant to all the recordings on this channel. You are about to participate in an exploration, an attempt to become very clearly aware of the sensitivity of the living being, the living organism. Before we go into that, I want to share with you some thoughts about what we commonly call exercise or practice. Life is not an exercise. Beings, sentient beings, do just that. They sense, they feel as they participate in the greater whole, which is life on earth. We also have internal awareness, sensations. We feel what we call ourselves. So when you sit down now, or lie down for that matter, which is quite okay too, to become more keenly aware of bodily sensations, remember that you don't have to do the feeling. You are feeling, that is your nature. Our feet, for example, are already sensing. That is, we are sensing. We may not be consciously aware of it at all times, but that's not necessary. Because as soon as I mention feet, you probably become aware of something which you call feet. It feels like foot, sensations which have already been there, just not in the foreground of your attention. And what's more, you become aware of living, of being a sentient being. And this is really what this is about. It's not about being able to feeling everything that's going on at all times. In this sense, this is not an exercise to become good at, but an awakening to what is already there, to the incredible sensitivity of the sentient being, in this case you. I'm calling what we do here focused sensing or focused awareness of bodily sensations, but the name is really not important. It's a process. Conscious and focused awareness is a faculty we share with all living beings. It's a matter of life and often a matter of survival. When we do it here in this structured step-by-step way, it is to cultivate what is already there, and quite often also to reclaim what we might have lost to some degree, namely to be fully embodied and present, participants of life. In the practice of sensory awareness, we don't have named exercises, but sometimes our teacher, Charlotte Selver, called this in German durchkämmen, combing through. And her teacher, Elsa Gendler, talked about durchfühlen, feeling through, or even Bestandesaufnahme, something like taking stock. Not to name it though, but to encourage a process, an activity, or to point out a process. It's important to remember that as we go into focused sensing. While it is beneficial at times to follow a certain premeditated path, as we do here, beginning with sensing our feet and then moving all the way through to the head, it is important to remember that this can be done in many ways, in different directions, with different focuses. What is now recorded and can be replayed is my voice guidance, but your experience emerges from the moment and may be quite different at different times. If you take this up as a practice, and I recommend that you do, you will develop your own way of doing this, gradually weaning yourself from recordings following your own sense of what is relevant from moment to moment, and letting your sensibility be the guide. At times you will be focused by sensations in and around your eyes, for example, because that's what's alive for you. At other times you will give yourself to the intricacies of breathing. And at other times yet your awareness will be more open and you will be aware of the symphony of sensations. Again, this doesn't have to be an exercise. It can be an experience. Much as when you go for a walk in nature. Sometimes you might go out bird watching and your main focus will be on that. But at other times you simply go out for a walk and you have no particular focus. You don't tell yourself then to see, to hear, to smell. You don't give yourself directions. You don't follow a curriculum. But you let yourself be focused by what suddenly appears and makes itself known. The familiar, the beautiful, a leaf, the strange, and sometimes the weird or the frightening. And sometimes when you are able to really give yourself fully, if just for moments, you may realize that you are not an observer, but a participant, even as a listener, a seer, a taster. In this sense, take the following exercise, and really anything you find on this channel, as a launching pad to finding your own way. There is not a fixed way of going about this. It just sounds like that because it's recorded and it can be replayed. Okay, if you want to learn more about sensory awareness, go to mindfulnessinmotion.com. Thank you and good luck.